Are you surprised? Complete with dreadlocks.
Yes, she has to. Well, look who I found. I was that I felt really tired all day, and I get done on the first show, and I'm like, "Hey, let's do a show. Let's talk some more planet talk." And she agreed.
And guess who's always willing to do that?
Yay! I mean, it's important to have people who want to talk the planets with you. It's important. It's an important subject, especially from this. Well, since COVID 2020. Well, right before that was the Great Conjunction, and that's kind of what started this whole ball rolling, right? And now we're working through that, and we got to get to the other side of peace and harmony, fairness, justice. I don't know.
Hi,
Bora Bora.
Yeah.
That is so sweet. It's good to see you. Bora Bora, I don't know if anyone else is on right now. I thought it was just. And Heavenly Blessed Honey, Mary Starshine came back. Hi, ladies.
Howdy, howdy. Yeah, it was a good conversation. We couldn't let it end.
Yeah, it was. Thank you all so much for being there.
Right.
She's a very nice woman. And it's just, I just love this stuff because what's today? Today is August 29th, right? And on the 1st is when Pluto goes into that 2959. I have the time somewhere, but that's important because I feel that day it's going to be a jolting. Because Aquarius has brought us to this point. We're thinking out of the box. We're thinking in the future. We're thinking about how good things could be, right? And that's kind of what that Pluto and Aquarius did. Now, when we go back into Capricorn, I think a lot of the stuff is going to be exposed in the news, the underbelly, the stuff that is hidden, has been hidden from us. So to me, it's important that something, Diana and I try to stay focused on is to keep everything uplifted. But the truth is, we've been through a crap show for at least 20 years. Let's go back to 50s. That was a crap show. But this is different energy because of that great conjunction right before COVID. Of course, it brought in COVID. Right?
So, he brought in that, just what you had already discussed. He brought in that. He brought in 2008. He brought the whole cave-in system. And I had just gotten divorced, and I was refinancing my house, and my financial advisor said, blah, 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 blah. There's going to be and then she said, and there's going to be another one which happened also, which was 5 or 6 years later. Where did you get that information from? Because it's been their plan all along.
Yep.
Don't tell me she got an astrologer. She's a churchgoer.
Are you talking about when the financial crash of 2008 happened? Yeah.
Well, right. She said, well, it was a crisis then, but nobody still was aware of that.
Right.
So I refinanced in right off the bat, March of, I had to be prepared, but it was March of 2009, because that's when my divorce was final and I got the house. Right. So out of that, she told me that the system is going to cave. So you got this with an arm, but you need to get rid of it so that you don't have that, right? And I got another mortgage for you that will work and doesn't have an arm attached. So she went with that, but the same day she said, and it's going to start to recover, but it's going to happen again. So this was 2009, and she's talking about the one in 2000. The beginning of it in 2008, but she's also talking about the one that happened afterwards, which was 2015, something like that.
That was bad.
Yeah. So, you know, no, it had to be before that. But regardless, they already
2020.
knew. They were already setting this in motion. They had plans to do this.
Absolutely. And so look what they did. No, okay, so let's just track it from 2008 to now, right? They have the biggest transfer of wealth has occurred just since COVID, but they've been on it, like you said, way before that.
Yeah.
This is why we got these. I mean, these are multi-billionaires. Some are even close to trillionaire. I mean, it's about that far away, and they did that by price gouging us, by doing all the nasty stuff they do to us. And it's just like, you guys don't even know how I can't wait till Pluto in Aquarius is full force in there, because it's going
Right.
to level. It's going to level because Pluto in Aquarius is about freedom, and freedom to ethics, right? Being ethical. There's no way they can hide from Pluto in Aquarius. Do you think? I don't think they
No,
can even,
no, because what does Aquarius stand for?
right?
Humanity, humanitarianism, which isn't
Mm-hmm.
Pollyanna. It's like, what do we got to do to get through this so that everybody has a foot to stand on when they're done with this,
Exactly.
so that we can all move forward together. So, okay, we have Pluto retrograde. Now let's look back at how this occurred, because he had been in Capricorn on January 20th of this year. He was at 0 degrees of Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
On May 2nd, at 0 degrees, at 2 degrees of Aquarius, he's stationed to go retrograde. So since May 2nd, he has been in a retrograde pattern. What happened May 2nd? And if we looked at the political arena, the things that were handed down, the verdicts that were handed down
Yeah. Yeah.
in the May, and then also in June and July, and
Yeah.
wasn't May when Georgia handed down a verdict, and
Mm-hmm.
then New York, or vice versa. And so it continued on.
Mm-hmm.
This is a time that we have to look at. And when you think about Jack Smith saying, I need 7 more weeks, and
Yeah.
the truth is out there that he had a plan,
Yeah.
this is bringing it forward in just the nick of time. Right?
And you're right, because it's slowly been trickling out.
Mm-hmm.
The justice, the fairness, the integrity, that type of stuff. They've been trying their hardest to keep the lid on that from blowing, because I don't know about everybody else. Let me ask, I know you feel this way. Does anyone else feel like there's a rubber band's about to snap?
Yep.
That
and Joji is right. Venus just entered Libra.
Yes, she
She's
did.
happy camper. That's what she has rulership in that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a night star, so she's even double happy.
Right.
And doing that is, she's looking for the equilibrium, the balance, the justification, the justice, not the justification, but the justice
fairness
for all,
for all.
The
That's
balance
right.
of it all, right?
And Mercury is out of retrograde. He just came out of retrograde last night, but he's still not going to be out of shadow until about the 14th. But see, this is what I don't think, even though that's, yes, it's significant. We have on the first, we have Pluto going back 29 degrees of Capricorn. Also,
right. It's the 14th.
And also on the first, Uranus starts its retrograde. Now, who rules Uranus? Aquarius. So you see how the Aquarius didn't come out of the picture.
I cannot take any more of Uranus going back and forth over my Mars at 29 degrees.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, right. I want to do, I gotta do, I can't do it. And I feel like the little engine that could, but this time it couldn't.
And it's that thing is, and I hate to be the bearer of, but you're on a healing journey. So this is why it's important for you, because he's not coming out of retrograde until January. Where am I? January somewhere. I got more crap written. Uranus. Oh no, I got that. It's retrograde. Well, it's around here somewhere. It'll come in. But the thing is, though, that Uranus retrograde shocks, surprises. Now he's in Taurus, right? Taurus don't like shocks and surprises, but nothing he can do really about it, because Uranus is a powerful planet. When he turns to go retrograde, this is why that day is going to be powerful. I think that there's going to be a significant news that day.
We also need to consider he is a fixed planet that has rulership on a fixed sign, and he just so happens to be in a fixed sign, Taurus.
Yeah.
Who is, is an immovable feast. Where Uranus is like, no, that ain't working. Here comes a lightning bolt. No, let's change that out of the box. So now,
try again.
Right. I mean, is any of you have in Taurus in your chart, and you're in the late degrees with those planets, that's Uranus. He's giving you can't move, and you can't, whatever it is you want to get heavy traction on, you're having a hard time, because Taurus is earthbound stuck. Uranus is airbound stuck.
Man,
right? And so now it's like, what am I sending? Am I sending rain? Am I sending wind to dry out the earth and make you stick even more? Because I want it this way and you want it that way.
Right.
We have to wait until the soil is loose enough to
move. That's what he's keeps throwing stuff at it until it changes. That's the thing with Uranus. It's not gonna be like, oh yeah, you can get away with this little bit of a movement. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be, no, that's not good enough. Do it again, right? I have Uranus transiting, squaring my natal Uranus. I have Pluto sitting right 3 degrees before my ascendant. I just don't leave the house. I just
poor baby, you.
So I understand how you're feeling. Thankfully, my health I'm hanging in there, but I went through a huge healing journey for 20 plus years. I'm not trying to minimize anybody else's, but it's interesting to watch all this play out, because it's significant. This fall, winter is significant on what happens when all those planets change in January. The nodes change, everything changes. And by February, we're going to be moving forward, because we're going to see, first of all, this election crap's going to be over with by then. and we're going to have hope. And we're going to say, okay, now we need to fix everything that's wrong. And that's where all these outer planets are really going to make a difference. Well, they do. This is what they've been doing. It's changing the narrative.
Right.
You think?
Yeah. We all have something going on with our health, and I'm not going to get into my baloney, but this part of this is, for me, is the Uranus Taurus. It's slow going, and healing is a slow process. And what is going on with this nation is a healing that is a slow process. We have to, get the little pain buddies to understand that they're much more comfortable if they do it this way.
Right.
And then we can sneak them out the door.
Anybody else want to be a moderator? I got you, Mary Starshine. I think Priscilla's here. Hi, Priscilla. Well, let's say hi.
Hey, Priscilla.
Hi, Priscilla. Hi, Liz in awe.
How are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. How are you? How are you? How are you?
And to say hi to Bora Bora. Thank you always for all your support.
Yes.
Here I can hear myself.
My
Thank you, Mary.
tribal
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Our tribal dancers.
Oh, our tribal dancer. Hi, Erin. Hi, Mary Starshine. Hi, Joe G. Happy Heavenly Blessed Honey.
And Uranus is another slow mover, like this Pluto transitioning. And so January, Uranus stationed direct in Taurus at 19 degrees. So he's only gone 8 degrees in all that time.
Yeah, they're the slow movers. That's the thing. This is why we've been watching this all play out like in slow motion since COVID, let's say.
Right.
Because they move slow. But I mean, we've got some powerful things going on. It's just slow, except for when they actually station to either go retrograde or direct. Then you can
Yeah.
usually see something in the news. Something will come up. I believe it's going to be big on the first. But as these planets are going on, right? Think about this. I mean, there's a lot happening next year, but I'm just going to jump to January 2026. Neptune and Saturn both change signs. It's a couple weeks apart, but I mean, that's rare. That is so rare.
Right.
And that shows me that's our new way forward, right? Because
Sure.
Aries is I am. So Saturn, Neptune's saying, well, first thing you are is spiritual. And then we're going to add all the other things on. But if it's not heart-centered, it's not going, right?
Right. And thinking again of what you had to say about Uranus and Pluto being retrograde at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, we are re-examining, even Uranus is about to re-examine everything. We got to have this right. So with all that egress that goes on early in January of 2026, let alone the stuff that's going to happen in 2025, we still have another year of ironing it out. 2026 is when we can start to put it into play. Now, one thing that Dabney had talked about was that she sees things coming much clearer in the 2030s. Well, yes, because that's when we start hitting the first Saturn return on all of the stuff that's going on right now in this year. And there's Pluto going into Aquarius and Uranus going into Gemini. So when that happens, we're in the 7-year return, the Saturn return. And what does 7 represent? If you were raised Catholic, it was the first thing you learned. 7 is the age of reason, and that's when you go to confession, and that's when you get your first communion. Well, 7 is the age of reason for a reason, because Saturn is boundaries and foundations. You've got a foundation, and now you have to learn how to understand what boundaries are. Your mom said the flame is going to burn your fingers. Don't stick your hand in it, but you try it anyway. You get burned. First boundary. Not testing that one again. She probably told me a lot of other stuff that was good,
And this is our future. Just so and it's so reassuring, right, to know that this isn't going to stay like this. This is the one reason Diana and I were doing the new moons and full moons when we started doing that, was to bring hope, to bring more to this topic than the visual that we all do live under. But there's so much happening behind the scenes and underneath, that it's really, really important to know that it's not going to stay like this. It's just not. And we're here, and I've said this many times with all of us, we're the front runners, we're the crones, we're the ones who are not even on the radar anywhere, but we're going to come out ahead. I'm not saying to have power over, I'm saying, to to be the wise ones, to make
Well,
it different.
exactly. They're going to start turning back to the info and wisdom and guidance of the crone. That most of us who are in this status certainly remember what it was like to have a party line. You know,
Right,
what it
right.
was not to right, and not just a party line, but a one-car family, television that had a screen this big. You know, I mean, a telephone. Excuse me.
What are you doing? Yeah.
A telephone that
Oh my gosh. Look at
has a
that.
rotary dial.
I haven't seen one of those for quite a while.
My saddest day was when I moved back to Michigan and I can't use this anymore. I had the original guts replaced so that it would recognize the computerized version of telephone these days would recognize the sound that the dial makes. And shout out to Verizon because Fios does that. Well, I moved to Michigan and Fios can't be here. There's a pact between Comcast and Michigan. Not that way in Virginia. You have both in competition, but up here it's Comcast, unless you go with somebody else who probably doesn't do it either, because they're probably connected to Comcast somehow.
Right.
But anyway, for entertainment purposes only, it was my biggest disappointment that I could no longer use it. I was paying $30 a month, which I didn't have to pay for with Verizon, to have that phone line, and I couldn't call out. I could get a phone call, but if I couldn't call out, what's the point? Right. That was the safeguard for when all else fails.
Yeah, I love that, Heavenly Bliss. Yeah, you could defend yourself with one of those phones. I forgot. I haven't seen one in a while.
Right? My muscles flexed with that one.
But okay,
but I love it.
This is also part of Aquarius. And the reason why Aquarius is so important, all the other planets have went through Aquarius. Pluto's the last one. So this is the big change. And Pluto was changing from Capricorn. Last time he was in Aquarius was 248 years ago. So massive change is coming in. And Aquarius we all have Aquarius in us, so don't think I'm just saying some people. That's brilliance, right? You think outside of the box. You're innovative. You get however you live your life, you're using your Aquarius somewhere in there. Now, Aquarius represents the technology, right? But now we know that there's a lot of technology they hold back from us. And that's got to be exposed along with all the other things that they've done. So just know that Aquarius, 30 years of Aquarius is not going to allow, Pluto is about integrity and truth. Aquarius is about freedom and humanitarianism. I mean, there's no way. They can't change that.
And don't forget, he'll be do-si-doing when he's in there too. He's going to go forward. He's going to go retrograde. He's going to go forward. He's going to go retrograde. So all of that is ironing things out.
Oh, you mean when he's in Aquarius fully? Yeah, because let's explain that. Retrogrades are important because as the planets go back and forth, you get time to go review. Something was missed. Let's go find out what that was and fix it. Now, that works in all of our personal lives, but it also works for the collective. So this is why I don't fear retrogrades. There's no reason to fear it. I mean, it has to be.
I got too many in my chart.
Yeah.
To worry about it.
I don't know who started that. It's like, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It helps us. Well, look at all these beautiful people. Hi, everybody. Hi, Randy. Hi, Rossi. Hi, Hypnicity. See, I'm trying to see if on my phone and on there, and I'm
Yeah, you're struggling with getting messages on StreamYard now? Hi,
who, me?
Roxy.
No, I'm just suck. I can't do two things at once. If I have this and that, but I don't know. I feel like I don't get everybody's messages
Uh,
when I'm in a chat. Like I don't see everybody or something.
yeah, women are stronger than a lot. No, right, Sonia?
Nope.
Who went to
And
work in the plants during World War II? Rosie.
yeah, and see, we were needed there then, though, to go fight their wars so they could make some money. We're needed now for peace and harmony,
Right.
and I mean, we're sick of watching it. And I'm sure a lot of men, any their feminine side, because we're both masculine and feminine. We've all been men and women throughout time and
Mhm.
history. And I'm sorry, I'm sick of seeing innocent people die for what?
I love
Oil?
wearing my dresses, but you know, I'm a tough gal. And the older I get, the tougher I become.
Yeah. Diana rode Harleys. No, I can't do that. I wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
swinging around a 700-pound iron horse, you know?
God bless you, man. I couldn't do it. I'd be so lost.
Oh,
I'm lucky I can walk straight though.
but you get to be an age, you know, like I say, I had 50 years of healthy riding. I wasn't always the pilot on my own.
Oh shit. What'd I do? See, this is why I don't do this. Sorry. Where are you? Come
Hey,
back.
here I am. So,
I'm gonna go back.
but I've been a passenger since I was, well, I think I rode my first motorcycle where I was the pilot when I was 15 years old or something like that. But after that, it was Born to Be Wild, and Easy Rider came out and everybody was a biker, and
Yeah.
I went to LA and blah blah blah. When I
This is
came back, I
this
had
is life.
right, I had a Triumph for a little while, a very little while. And then I didn't have a bike of my own again until about 1996.
Gee.
So I had been a passenger
Well,
at that time, but in 1996, or maybe it was 1996, I got a Sportster and didn't like that bike, but my husband was trying to make a man out of me. So sorry, Matt, but that's what you were doing.
that's what we were trying to do. Of
Right,
course, they don't want to hear you when you're
right.
making some.
Well, and then he realized, yeah, no, this is not for her. I needed a
Oh
heavier
my
bike.
God.
They're not heavy. Their center of gravity is up too high, which is another thing that we need to think about with all of these things that are changing in the sky. Where's your center of gravity? Where you're looking is where you're going to go. Those are two rules of riding a motorcycle. And so I got a Springer Softail, and that bike was made for me. And the color, the paint job, everything. So I
Yeah.
rode that from 1997 until, oh no, I'm sorry, from 2001 until I sold it in 2017, because I knew that Matt was very sick and going to pass. And I knew that when that happened, I'd be leaving and coming to Michigan, and it was just sitting in the garage. It had gotten really crazy traffic down where I was living, and it was just like too dangerous to ride anymore. So
Yeah. It's. I give you credit because I couldn't. I never even wanted to get on a motorcycle. I was no, that does not look like it'd be fun. I've tried a couple of times, when you're a little kid and they put you on the back and you didn't need helmets or anything, and you think, wow, this is cool, but
Well, I got to say, thank you. Yes, Hypnicity. Now that song's going to be in my head the rest of the night.
Which one is it?
What did Ginny say?
Ginny said she was late. Let's see. Where you're looking is where you're
I
going to
don't
go.
know, but everybody's laughing.
Diane G, I'd be on the ground because I can't focus either. It would suck. Anyway, oh my God. But, right, so, well, what else about Aquarius could we talk about? Aquarius, I think, will get rid of all the toxins. You know,
Yeah.
it's an air sign. It doesn't like the chemicals.
It's a forward-thinking sign, but it also, has this, it has a connection because it's deeply rooted. What is Aquarius considered to be, right? She's the water bearer.
Mm-hmm.
So she's pouring the water onto the earth, onto the crops, onto things that stay rooted.
Right. And
So,
that, and also gathering the higher information and bringing it down into the physical.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Oh, thank you. Very well said. I don't know. You feel the vibration? Oh my goodness, heavenly.
Yeah, there's nothing like that thunder. I'm telling you, especially when you get to be the pilot.
Uh-oh.
Everything is coming at you. It's your peripheral that comes into play. You keep your eyes focused, but if a deer's coming, if a gopher's running, I mean, you see these things. So when you're in heavy traffic, it's hard. When you're in densely wooded areas, it's hard. So you have to be focused. I don't know how so many people can fly a motorcycle while they're drinking. There's no focus. And I said more rosaries on that damn motorcycle than I ever said in church.
Really?
Yeah. I get on and I start praying with my fingers. 10 beads make, 10 Hail Marys. And so I'd be saying them.
Well, yeah, I would be praying too. Absolutely.
Born to be wild. You bet.
Jenny wants to know why she's having a hard time sleeping. Hi, Lori.
Because if you haven't seen Stefan Burns, go see him. He just put one out today. Surprise, surprise, there was a geomagnetic storm and everybody had called off the solar winds. Well, baloney, they hit anyway. There was a tornado that just blew past me. I was on the Akashic show at that time, and it blew over me and it hit down in Fenton and then moved on into Holly. Trees in Fenton ripped out of the sidewalk. The sidewalk turned over, and electricity is still out in several parts of Fenton.
And that's okay. So that storms like that are from solar storms, from solar weather. I think they're for. Hi, Annie Bear.
Annie and Randy, I know I miss my motorcycle. I still look when I hear them, but I'm done, and I know I'm done, and I'll never get on another one.
Wow.
I'm just too old. I'm 75. I'm too old.
It would seem like you would have to have really good control of your core muscles to
yes, but more it's focus. Core muscles just come along the way because your core isn't holding it up. The wheels are holding you up. Your speed is holding you up. Yes. And they say, stay on it. Keep your speed up. Keep your speed up. Because, you go too slow, you fall over. There are things that can work against you. A cocked wheel, and on a hill and all these other things that come in particular. And scary places. Switchbacks on 2-lane highways.
No,
where the guy coming down the other way don't give a shit. and sorry,
No,
and
it's
he's speeding down the mountain, and he's just going to take the whole 2 lanes and ride the center of the road, and doesn't know that there's motorcycles coming up because he's got his music blasting and maybe even the windows up. He doesn't hear you.
and you know, I mean, well, I don't want to go into something dark, but you know, you got to be very careful. And people are not very focused. This energy, you see how we're having the trouble keeping, you know, things together, going. I mean, I really like planned my times to go out and what I'm going to do. And before this time of day, like I was never like that, never. But
Yeah.
now it's just,
Right.
because of this time period, right? That COVID till now, till 2026, it's just upheaval. Things are being restructured, uprooted, right?
Right. Rossi's saying that she had a lot of thunderstorms in South Florida. Sure. I mean, this is all coming in because of the solar wind that came through. I'm telling you, it's got to be 80 feet tall. It's taller than my house, and it's attached to the barn. It's not, it's huge up in the air. There's an antenna over there. That thing was bending over. I was looking for it to come flying through my backyard. And in my umbrella that Groucho always sits under was opened a little bit because we'd had a storm earlier and it'd been closed for so long that it was getting a little black dots. So I decided to let it open up and dry out, but just a little bit. Well, it was blowing crazy. I'm looking out the window and I go, oh crap, I better go get that. By the time I got around from the kitchen to the door, the wind had picked it up, flipped it over, and ripped the canvas. So it's got a new vent.
Liz, that's because we just got out of Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
And Diana says this all the time. How do you say it? Act once, think things 40
Think
times.
twice, act once. Yeah.
I know I make silly mistakes. You know, if I'm not checking myself constantly and grounding, I have to stop, I have to breathe. I mean, it's just, we have to have that kind of structure so we can, you know, I'm always up here talking to my team, you know, or trying to look in the energy. I don't pay attention to really what I'm doing unless I'm cooking, you know, and hanging out with y'all.
So what else do we need to know and pay attention to?
Well, let's say this, right? Venus just went into Libra yesterday, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that. Mercury's out of retrograde.
Yeah.
And as soon as Mercury gets back to Virgo on around the 14th going forward, we're going to start really be detail oriented. We're really going to want to line things up properly.
Right.
Gemini,
like understanding that when you shake the clothes out before you throw them in the dryer, they come out less wrinkled. Or hang them on a hanger, they come out less wrinkled. Or even, God forbid, heat up
that's
the
how
iron.
I iron. Yeah, no, that's how I iron. I hang myself up. I'm not ironing. Oh my God, remember those days? That was awful. Ironing, God knows. Well, now everything's pretty much made out of plastic, but that's another thing that, like, we're going to make common sense. You know, instead of cutting down trees, we're going to use hemp, because everything that they use trees for, hemp does in the same thing in a shorter amount of time. It's just going to be more intelligent way of going forward. But like I said, and what Diana said, it's not going to happen right away. There's so many things that need fixed.
Well, it's like, you know, the old way of making the cake. When you sift the flour, there was a real purpose for that in the past, because they didn't have the equipment that we have nowadays. It was a grinding stone, and stones might be in there. So you wanted to get the flour nice and fluffy. you'd sift it once, you'd sift it a second time, maybe even a third, to get rid of all the debris. So that's what this first stretch is going to be about. Making, let's say it's making a cake. So, we just got to keep sifting things till it is nice and fluffy. And then mingle slowly at first, because you don't want the flour going all over the place. You don't want baking soda and everything else going all over the place.
Well, Liz, Liz,
and then you add the eggs.
See, and that's the truth. I hate flour everywhere, and that's why I don't bake. Oh my God, it drives me crazy. I'm like, oh my God, a mess, because then my Virgo kicks in. I'm not even a Virgo, but I have Pluto and Mars in there, and it's just a mess. I'm a clean freak. See, Liz, right. Even banks are making mistakes, and that's going to start becoming, the banks are not, I'll be honest, banks are not stable. Not for fear, but I would keep a lot of money, what money you could, on you. And see, this is hard. Like my mom, who has investments, and Diana, and people, how do you do that? I don't believe the system is going to crash. That's not what I'm saying at all. But a lot of the smaller banks probably will, because the last time Pluto went back to Capricorn, that's when we had those banks out west. They crashed. It just like little things are going to be becoming more noticeable, and the whole reason is that everything's being restructured. That's already started with Saturn in Pisces. Yeah, he's going to restructure all this stuff.
Yeah, but I forgot what I wanted to say, because you triggered something really good, but then you kept on with even more important. No, it was very important what you've been saying, and so I lost the thought.
It'll come back. That's what I do. I just say, please bring it back in my head, because I feel like half the time I don't even finish a sentence, and things are coming in so fast, right, that I'm trying to, you know what that's like. That's hard, being psychic and getting information in the moment and having to be live and explain it. It's kind of like, but they're saying this is good training, so there we go.
So Neptune stations direct on December 7th at 27 degrees of Pisces. He's going to touch into Aries, but I think he only goes to 2 degrees, 1 or 2 degrees, if he gets that far.
It goes,
like Pluto had done, right? So when he does that, he's going to go back in. This is going to be in 2025. He'll go back into Pisces, because he's going to go retrograde again. Now Saturn is going to do-si-do while he's still in Pisces. But when he's ready to go forward, that is what is setting the stage for the two of them to go into Aries together, or basically together. The dream is going to go ahead, and then Saturn is coming right behind the dream. I think it's Neptune first and then Saturn.
Well, Neptune,
vice versa, but the foundations are going to be established. New boundaries are going to be established.
Yeah, it's
and
Saturn.
We'll have a new president.
Mm-hmm. And then things are going to move quick.
A ceiling that is broken, we hope, right?
It will be. Yeah. There's no way. There's no way. No, we're not going back. And it's not only because of, I think he's going to get blown out of the water. The votes are going to speak for themselves, because people are sick of it. We're all sick of this.
Right.
And she has a plan. She has solutions. She has ideas, right? And
banking online, banking where there's no teller, just this little booth that you can never go inside. No, or banking online, you can't even see the tellers through a window anymore. If you're lucky, they're on a computer screen. And somebody, I think it was Rossi, said something. Oh, now I lost it.
Turning banking
Close
online.
banks, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And see, they had, and when everybody was working from home, they had a way out of the office building thing, but they couldn't lose the money. That's why they made people go back. See, that was ridiculous, because that's actually, people are going to be working more from home than in these big, huge buildings, you know.
Right.
And to me, oh, this really pissed me off the other day. Sorry, but you know, how you see like buildings and they just all of a sudden they're abandoned, or there's a ship and they just leave it there because it's abandoned. Like whoever stuff that was, they should come and pick it up and remove it, right? Am I
Right.
crazy?
I know what it was. They were talking about the gals in here were talking about home ec class, and
See, why don't
people
we see-
nowadays need a brush up on those skills because some of them have not been raised with it at all. At least my kid knows how to clean a toilet, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we have entered, give your kid a phone for entertainment at age 2. No, but that goes on. So, yeah, home ec, everything. You got to know how to do this. You need to know how to chop wood. You need to know how to light a fire properly. You need to know how to protect yourself inside the home from simple dangers like a spark coming out of the fireplace. I can remember cooking with a wood stove because my great grandmother still had one that operated for all the guys from the Seal Test Creamery, and the horses were still drawing the milk back up and down the streets of downtown Detroit. The huckster had a horse-drawn wagon. There was a guy with a bicycle who had a grinder on there, and he would ride around and grind scissors and knives, and and he was all over town. I mean, we didn't live in the old neighborhoods anymore. We had moved out, but my grandmother was still down there. So of course we went down there. So that guy was down there, but he rode his bicycle all the way out to where I lived and did the same thing out there. And then the photographer with the ponies. Oh my God, that was ever so much fun. Postman not only get to know you, but walk the mail to the house. And during Christmas, there were so many cards, they'd come twice a day.
Right? Oh, man. Perrette is saying that she believes they're going to have a good winter.
Yeah.
Because of the beehive.
We are going to have, you're right, El Nino, right?
I don't know.
Hi, Sherry.
I like that, Lori. Was told to get treasury notes. Hi, Sherry.
Yeah.
Sherry Voices from the Swamp is here. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Yes.
Yes, Rossi. I completely agree. Everybody needs to be self-responsible. I mean, I don't see how you have kids and not teach them how to do things. I don't understand that, because my kid should already know how to do basic things before he gets to school. In the first place, should know numbers, his alphabet, something, or they. I don't know.
I think it was Amanda who was talking about the gender of planets and signs. Yes, of course, they can be either or, because it's how they dominate in your chart, how it appears in your chart, that makes that gender shift, where you exhibit more masculine because of, or more feminine because of. But the old stories that go with them are the reasons why we say it has a gender, because Pluto is Hades, and Hades was a man, and the whole Persephone story, as well as a couple of others, have the same story, being taken to the underworld and becoming the queen of underworld. Persephone is Venus. So, in one of her forms, when she's a morning star, that's when she is in the underworld, because we can't see her. When she's a night star, she's Venus in her shining glory. And she's kinder than when she's under, because she has to survive. Which, it's kind of like the Sedna story too. It's always,
Mhm.
that daddy issue kind of thing.
Yeah, always.
Only in Persephone's case, it was her mother.
Yeah, but I mean that's this is all the lore from 26,000 years repeated over and over and over and over. And
Yeah.
this is why, to me, as Earth raises in frequency, so does the whole solar system. So does a lot of the frequency is everything. You can be in a low frequency and still be around, but you don't necessarily see those people or feel that energy. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I'm just so. I think I've just been here too many lifetimes for 26,000 years, and I can't wait till the it all changes.
Annie had said something nice up there too about how she calls in for the most benevolent outcome, the things that she's doing for a good life, that she wanted them to asking the spirits to be easy because she needs rest. That's another thing we all do.
Yeah,
We all need rest, whether we like to admit it to ourselves or not. Not
that's right.
looking in the mirror or anything, but well, Valerie can tell you. It's hard for me to stop moving. And
I feel bad. So I'm like, why can't you just listen to spirit and just sit still? And she's like, I can't.
because I hear spirit when I'm moving. Well, my Jupiter's in Aquarius.
Yeah, she has.
Right.
She's a Gemini.
And my
too.
moon,
She
who
wants
is
to
also
move.
fleeting, is in Sagittarius. So the moon is moving, my
So she's
Jupiter's
moving.
moving, my Mars might be stuck, but my Mercury's in Gemini. Nope.
Mm-mm.
And my Uranus is in Gemini. Nope, we're moving, because my
Yeah.
Uranus is at 29 degrees. So that's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's
have
the higher.
half of a trine, right? There's 30 degrees between Uranus in the sky and Uranus in my chart. Uranus in the sky is on my Mars, and Uranus in my chart is in a house that wants to go because it's in the ninth house.
You know that Uranus on your Mars. I heard when you said that. I heard you are being given alternative ways to do things. That's what I heard.
Yeah, sitting down in
I'll
front
let her,
of them.
I'll let her know that because she doesn't
Like,
listen.
get the knitting out, finish those paintings that are sitting in the other room.
Hi, Cheryl. Aw, everybody's so nice coming in and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
How does my internet seem glitchy today?
It is. It seems that way.
Okay, because I got a new thing, but it doesn't seem to be working to help my internet. A booster.
Okay.
Priscilla showed me.
That's possible.
Want to get, and
they sometimes can go funky. How old is it?
I just got it today in the mail.
Oh,
Amazon. I bought a new camera and a new microphone thing. That's not coming till Saturday, but I was hoping it's not only my internet.
No.
Oh, come on, Randy. It's not.
And they might see it's mine too. I don't know. I'm just not seeing it. Uranus and Virgo for me. Okay. I like that, actually.
I'm Uranus and Leo. You want to talk about fiery.
Right? So that gives you all that follow through that you've got, Randy. All that stick-to-itiveness, all of those Virgo traits that are perfectionist, I gotta know this, I gotta know that. And you're an Aries, right?
Aries, yeah.
So all of that comes together to help you be the best Aries, if you think about it, because you know how to delegate. That's what Aries' job is. And so with that support in Uranus with Uranus in Virgo, it's like, well, this has to be right. And if I need help, I'll get help, or I'll make sure that they have the right tools so that they can help themselves when I'm not around. Oops. You were frozen.
I was. Oh man, I'm sorry. I was trying to fix it because I know this happens a lot when we're live. And I totally forgot about the thing that Priscilla suggested I buy. And I bought it, and so far,
Well,
I don't know if it's hooked up
where
yet.
is it's got to be located so that it's like not too many corners, not too many closed doors, things like that, so that it can get a healthy signal from where your tower or whatever that thing is.
Yeah, see, Zachary
Your
said it
Wi-Fi.
had to be close to the tower. So he put it in this one plug, but I think that plug's what's messing it up. I think it needs to go on the plug that's closer to me, even though it's the tower in his room.
How many corners does it have to go around from
It's
where
one.
the Wi-Fi, just one to get to you?
Two from where it is now, but if I move it to the other one, it's going to just be one.
Right. And see, you have your door closed also. Now, I'm not saying go open your door, but I'm just saying, that would bring it closer, then maybe the door wouldn't be an obstacle.
I misunderstood because I thought I plugged it in closer to where I was. I didn't know I had to be close to the tower.
Well, it should be somewhere in between the two so that you get a straight signal to the enhancer and the enhancer makes the turn for you.
Okay. I'm going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah. Somatics of your house. So like in VA.
Like in a dead zone.
Yeah. My Wi-Fi was in the room I used for the office, but it couldn't turn around from there and get to where I had put an addition onto the house, which is where I basically hung out watching TV and playing games on my iPad, right? So I had to get an enhancer for that too. But it was a straight shot and one curve, and it was wide open because I had a kitchen counter and all that.
Randy says a lot of people are still having this, and Labor Day sales. Mary Starshine said, and Lori said that out in the world, the cats, they were glitching while she was doing her thing.
There you go.
It's something that we have. I've always had this issue, and I'll forget as soon as I'm not live that I have the issue, and try to fix it. So I don't know.
Uranus is getting ready to go retrograde also, right?
Yeah, on the 1st. Same with Pluto. That's what I'm saying. That's going to be a powerful day. Yeah. You have Pluto going to Capricorn and Uranus stationing retrograde. That's going to be powerful.
Powerful day. So he's already, already playing.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Uranus going to Gemini.
Oh, when he goes into Gemini, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, but that'll be okay. I know. A lot of astrologers say that he doesn't like being in Aquarius. I don't have that problem, and he's in my Gemini to begin with, and now he's going to be conjunct my Gemini. Oh, this is what? How old am I? Is this Uranus return? Coming up pretty soon.
So you have Uranus and Gemini, so that's the higher octave of Mercury. Yeah. So you do have a lot of electricity, and things are fast inside of her. That's why she can see all the.
Well, and it's in the 9th house, which is the ruling house for Sagittarius, where my moon is. And I'm not trying to talk about me. I'm just trying to give you an example, and it's my easiest example. So the 9th house is the house of Sagittarius. My moon is in the 2nd house, and that is the house where my Sagittarius moon is, and my Chiron. So till this time in my life, there's been a lot of financial wounding, but things started to change for me when I got a divorce.
Yeah.
No offense, but the truth of it is, I've always been waiting for permission all my life from my parents, So if this has happened to you, we wait for
Everyone got
permission
it.
from our
Yeah.
parents to spend money.
Well, I didn't
My
do that.
parents were poor, but I didn't understand that. But they took my babysitting money, so I didn't have that. I never learned about money. And
Mm.
so when I got married, I mean, I'm such a flighty, free-spirited Gemini that the things that didn't interest me because somebody else took care of it, I just thought, you go to the bank and you get it. I didn't know you had to play a game with the bank to keep
Yeah,
it
but
there,
see, all of us had to
right?
learn those
Right,
lessons because we didn't know. And there's always at least one bad relationship involved.
right.
Uh,
Well,
at
and the
least.
sad part about it was when I did marry,
Oh,
he
my,
had that
my,
you don't know how to do it attitude about everything. Control, control, control. And I slipped into that because, well, that's the normal way because that's what everybody's done with me, right? So again, I didn't hear, I didn't learn what he wanted, what he expected, because he didn't share that information. So it
mm-mm.
didn't put me on a path to understand how we work together. So that was the saddest part about our relationship. And
I understand.
by the time I was divorced, I understood things a whole lot different. I worked 2 jobs and then I took on a third, but first invested in learning. Well, I've been doing yoga all my life, but to get a certificate. So I put in 300 hours and I'm certified as a 300 hour, but I've actually done 500 hours of yoga plus, so I could have a 500 hour certificate, but what for? I'm not teaching anymore. It's just, for my sake, which right now is bugging the crap out of me because I can't do anything on the mat.
Yeah, I take a lot of Molly McCord stuff and I take Serious Joy. But Maya's asking, are we going to offer any astrology classes soon? We were talking about it. We've been waiting for a lot of that jolty energy to get cleared out, but that's not happening anytime soon. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I would love to. I think that we're going to at least put out a video of the basics of astrology for
Well,
free.
we've got to do that. We keep promising, but we are finally getting into a clearing space where we can have that happen, I think.
Right. Yeah, and
You know?
I love Molly McCord. I do a lot of her classes. I've been listening to her since when she first came out on podcasts.
Oh, yeah,
I
right.
love her.
Way back when.
Hmm. And
Way
Serious
back
Joy,
when.
I love him because, and they're both psychic, intuitive
Right.
astrologers. I didn't think, well, I can't be an astrologer. I'm too
Molly,
out there. I'm too woo woo. But that wasn't true.
little known fact about Molly, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but she went to high school, maybe even elementary school with Rick Levine's daughter.
God, yeah, I know that. I know, and she loves him.
I
I mean,
love him too. I mean, he's been my best professor because
yeah,
he's the one that I still,
take
listen
class.
to.
And Astrology Hub is excellent. If you want
Oh
to,
yeah,
I mean,
Amanda
if
Koloff,
I had
she
the
did a great
time
job.
to sign up for that, I mean, it's like $35 a month, but that's really not bad for all you get because you can
Right.
learn so much.
But I do Rick through Patreon, so I'm happy with that. Because there's other astrologers that are not
Aw, thank you,
that deal
Neil.
with things I'm not really interested in. Not that I don't want to learn them, it's just that they're not what I deal with, right? Financial institutes and stuff like that. So
Well, and the thing is, like, well, everybody, we'll do something. Mary Starshine saying we would have a good class. If anyone's interested, let us know. We really don't know what everybody would like to
how about
experience.
this?
We would love to do that.
When we
But
come back for the full moon, I don't know how many are here with us right now, but
I can do a poll. I can put a poll up on
Well,
my.
right, and just say yes if you're interested in taking a Zoom class
Yeah.
on Zoom. That way we can squeeze, 100 people in if
Mhm.
people were interested.
And geez, squirrel, God knows. Like to me, there's a lot of electricity in the air right now because I can't keep myself focused.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And I gave up coffee today and it was a breeze. Now I did have a cup of tea, but it was half pomegranate juice. So that just held the headache back. The other headache I've had for months from God knows what else.
Yeah, financial literacy really does need to be taught. I mean, you see how that is purposely not
Yes.
taught. They don't
Well,
teach you what you
right.
really need to have to learn to live in this world,
There
you
was
know.
when I went to school 100 years ago, you learned how to write, keep a bank account, keep a
But
ledger,
I never learned that.
write
I
a
never
check.
was taught that.
We learned all of that stuff in
I,
school.
I never
Now,
was.
maybe it was because I went to Catholic school. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think it was just part of the way people were growing up and the curriculum that was taught. It was part of math class. Like it was at fourth or fifth grade, because that's when you start thinking about the birthday money you get goes into the savings account so that you can save for the bicycle you want, blah, 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 blah. Because you're getting to be that age. You're getting to be,
Mhm.
you're old enough to go hold a part-time job.
Yeah, no one taught me about money at all. Nowhere, nowhere I was. I worked at 11. I was selling papers on the corner, and I
Yep.
was working in a pizza shop. And I worked, and I had to teach myself um, what I needed to know, But I don't begrudge anybody for that. I enjoyed it, but there's such a better way to set up how the how humanity lives on this planet, and it's not going to work 40 hours a week and hoping to retire someday and die shortly thereafter. I just never really resonated with that at all.
Can we send some heavenly light and blessings out to Kelly Healer?
Well, what happened to Callie? Yes, of
She's
course.
still got COVID. She came
Oh
back
my.
from India with COVID and she's still under the weather and under the blankets.
Yeah.
And some extra light for mom
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, poor baby.
Yeah, please help Kelly and her mom
Mm-hmm.
get
Callie.
over their hurdles.
Everybody, I mean, everybody was, where were we earlier? With Terry holding your space. Everybody needs help. I
Yeah.
swear, and I
Oh,
just see everybody lit up and healing.
and I want to thank everybody who was there this morning because I know she put my name in there and I felt it. I got a good surge,
Hmm.
able to get the dogs out for a walk. So
Thank you, Heavenly Blessed, honey.
yeah.
I feel that planes and jet. So there was, okay, these types of things, right? That I just feel that we're going to get together as humanity and evolve, really evolve, not this crap that's going on. But I'm kind of curious, what do you think? How do you think? Okay, I just was shown. Oh my goodness. I was going to say, how do we deal with the billionaire class?
Ooh.
How do these people get either on our side or or take the power taken away from them? And I just heard that's what that rubber band thing is about, whatever that is.
How do we get on that side? I think that is something that is going to be Jupiter, Pluto based.
Mm, mm,
And it's not so much that they're going to be on our side, it's just that we're going to understand how to pull the power and distribute it evenly. And so those are the things that we have the transits that I think we need to watch, because Jupiter's the benefic and Pluto is about integrity. And as they make their transits, it's about where does that sit in your chart and how do those planets interface with your chart? Where's a good spot for you to change? At least I'm not in the banking system as per se. I've joined, when I moved here, I went into a credit union. And for me, I feel so much more comfortable with that.
All right. Anybody else want to be a moderator while I'm in here figuring this out? I got Sherry in there.
Awesome.
We never really have, I don't think we've ever had a problem. Have we? And one time in my community stuff, but that was.
Well, that's the other thing, Sherry. These exorbitant medical bills, for what? We're paying for their upgrades. Yeah. Before the fact.
Yeah. No.
This is just crazy. And, you know, Allie mentioned it the other day, and she's absolutely right. Everybody complains about social medicine that you have to wait for blah, blah, blah. Well, you think that isn't going on here. You still have to wait. And then there's things like Kaiser. You think that isn't any different than what you're complaining about elsewhere? And I don't have to do Kaiser, but I've heard her story.
Yeah, and there's a better way.
Right. My son is of an age that he has to, and that's what he's got. Well, they may be able to have gotten something different by now because they legally got married after 10 years of living together. So now on her policy, and that I don't know what it is, but
I did make you all moderators. I guess it takes a minute to show up. Yeah, but see, all of that's got to change because illness for profit, I don't get it. It's like profiting off a pandemic. That whole mentality has got to be buried, done, gone. You know, it's just, I mean, I know it's not going to happen overnight. Every time I say that, they say things can happen a lot faster than you realize. You know, don't hold progress back by the way you think. That's what I'm hearing.
Laura's making a good point too.
What did she say?
The youth of the world and the galactic families will level the playing field for all of us. Divine source and the higher realm have already started the shift for us. Absolutely. And we who are of the higher realm and headed towards an even higher realm understand this, feel it. We know it. We're not going back. The shift is forward movement only.
We are ascending. We're raising in frequency. There's no, we're done with the 26,000 year cycle. We're done with the age of Pisces.
Right.
And we're going into the age of Aquarius. We really have a lot to look forward to. And this is why we love to come on and talk about all this stuff, because it shows it right in the charts. It shows it everywhere. I mean, there's a lot going on. And by no means am I expert on all of it, but you can see the trending stuff going on. And what do we got the new moon in Virgo on Monday.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And guys, you got to get ready for this. The full moon in Pisces on the 17th is eclipse season starting. 2
eclipses in a row.
Yeah.
Solar and lunar.
Yeah.
And is that, Sherry, what's it called? The Psychonathon? The fundraiser for
that Juno's going to be in. I think Sherry's going to be there.
Juno's on it, Sherry's on it, Allie's on it. Irish Granny and Deborah Lupine are organizing it.
Mhm.
And Sherry's son is going to have some music playing on it.
Oh, nice.
Thank
Okay.
him, thank him.
Yeah, and
So,
that's
yeah,
it's what's this holiday? Labor Day. When they're doing that Labor Day
yeah,
weekend, right?
yes.
Going 24 hours or 48 hours?
24. 24 is good. I think it starts at 5:30 and it runs until 5:30 Labor Day evening. So Sunday to through Monday for 24
Mhm.
hours straight.
And then Tuesday, I'm with Juno. We're doing a live trunk show where she's going
Oh,
to sell some of her crystals and her mandalas and things like that. So that's going to be really cool. You know, we're going to do just a few, I don't know, so many items. We're going to try to do that every month because she has so much. I didn't realize how many mandalas she had. I didn't realize what she.
oh my gosh.
She is, and she's just, she can't
Oh,
stop
there you go.
creating.
Sherry posted the times.
Oh, where
4
is it?
p.m. Eastern Sunday to 4 p.m. Eastern Monday.
See,
And
I'm not
your
getting
time.
that. Hold on. Okay, Sherry's got Sherry, you still have a GoFundMe up and running for your son. So if anyone can donate to Sherry's son, there's a GoFundMe for it. I don't see where the times are. And see, this is what messes me up because I'm not seeing it.
You don't. It's
Sorry,
right behind, it's right below Rossi's. There you
there
go.
we go. Sorry about that. Couldn't
Well, it
see.
doesn't help when it jumps.
Yeah. What's Karen, I need an alarm to go off in my hose when you come on live.
Oh,
In
yeah.
your house.
Amanda.
I will try. Yeah. Are you sure you make sure you're subscribed to I'm not even sure. I never even suggest this to people and I should. Please like, share and subscribe and make sure you're
Yeah. So
subscriber.
Amanda says her daughter is going to visit grandma on the 18th. Hopefully the timing is good.
Yes, post the link, please, Sherry. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Aw. Yeah, that, you know, that full moon in Pisces eclipse is more to me of
Sherry, post the link. Yes, please do.
is more to me that the illusion delusion is being released within people, you know. More of that type of
Yes,
thing.
absolutely. Sherry, the night owl, is going to be on from 3 to 4 a.m.
You
So,
do. I don't
but
know how
I
you
think she
do it.
goes on at midnight. So
Oh
she's
my
going to be on for
God.
3 hours at least.
Yeah. And Sherry and Scott Scorpio's son, I don't know how they do it. Allie, I don't know how they do all these shows. I couldn't believe I wanted to come back on and Diana agreed to it. So it's like, yeah, let's do it. We're all amped up, right? But I don't know if I could do that every day, especially, well, if my internet's not paying, cooperating.
Erin says she can't wait to play Trolls Slayer.
Troll Slayer. I love it. Well, if there's ever a troll, please get him for me. Aw, that's so nice, Erin. Thank you. Literally, the kindest group of folks. Love you all. We love you.
We love you all too. Oh my gosh, yes.
Let's see. I took stewardship for Deborah since. Oh,
Awesome.
that is nice of
There you
you.
go. She's got the GoFundMe link up.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a wild ride this fall and winter. So just know though, February, I keep saying February, so it must be February. January, February is going to really, we're going to see hope. You know,
Yeah,
we're going to see it.
definitely. I mean, I see hope now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Since the timeline jump with Kamala, that was huge. It was huge.
Huge.
And let's see what's, I would like if live shows were listed on your community pages. I don't get, and a lot of people say that YouTube doesn't want channels like ours to get to,
We don't have enough.
yeah. What I will do is whenever I'm going live, and I try to do this because YouTube will post a half hour before I go live, then I'll wait a couple minutes and post it on my community board. And I keep trying to remember to do that. And I just came on live and didn't even think about it. But
well, you had just left alive, so it was
yeah.
kind of, whoa. We're just in the same flow.
Just in the
same yard link.
Man, we got stuff going on, but it gets. I'm excited about this fall and winter, but I'm more curious to see how it all gets exposed, because there's going to be a lot of stuff being exposed. The underbelly's really going to be showing.
Well, and look at how talkative we're becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Mercury must have made a little jiggle.
Yeah.
Politics
will be done pretty much, I would say, January, February, Randy. But it's just going to get worse the next couple of months. And actually, every time I say that, I hear it's not like it was before the timeline jump. It was really bad then. Now it's just going to be the same old ignorant stuff they do. Yeah. But I don't put nothing past them, though. They're very underhanded. And that's kind of what has people on edge, Randy. We're all, and I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And are we safe? Are we out of the worst part of it yet?
Right.
So my brain has to go January, February.
Yeah. Mercury has moved 5 minutes of arc. So instead of 21-24, he's now 21-29. So he's shimmying. He's getting ready to break free, and he's going to move fast.
Yeah.
Because he's only, right? It's barely 7 days, and he'll be at 0 degrees of Virgo.
And he's fun in Leo. I'm not trying to get on the Virgos, but when he goes to Mercury in Virgo, it's really serious about.
Sure, because that's his rulership, Virgo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but
another perpetual student, Virgo.
Oh my goodness, yeah, and they're earth angels. I mean, they're beautiful souls. Are very hard on themselves, Virgos.
Yeah.
Anyone have any other questions or anything that anybody? If we know the answer, we certainly will try to say it. Oh yeah, yes, Rocky, absolutely. This is who's been holding back progress for at least a couple hundred years. Let's just go 50 years. They really had to clamp down, and they're going to try everything they can. That's what kind of gives me. I guess we've had so many lifetimes where we were killed for being witches, just for being healers, really, and it kind of gives me.
We'll build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love will build a bridge. And don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Yeah.
It will.
Heavenly. You got it.
I really thought we had it going in the 60s, and then they killed Kennedy, and then
both of them. Both of them.
And
no wonder Junior is such a mess.
Now, it's Randy saying, call on, times are changing. Yes, they are. I mean, and it's
times
we're so happy.
Come gather around, people, wherever you
go on.
Don't criticize. Whoa. You
Looking
know,
for
I
it
get
first
to go
time.
see him. I get to go see him on the 15th.
Aw,
Aaron's coming into town on 911. Moira can't make it
right.
because they just had to
Aaron,
go, right? They had a big vacation with the family reunion on her side. And so they had to board the dog then, so they both can't come. Somebody's got to stay home with the dog, which is fine. They're trying to get me out there. So
Oh, do you want to go?
to LA?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go.
I don't. Yes.
September
Yes, because I would
17th.
love to see where they live, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't been in LA since 1968. I'm sure there's a few
Mhm.
changes,
I'm
but
sure it's so different.
I think, well, and maybe after the first of the year, a lot just depends on
That's right,
you know,
Sherry.
what's
Right.
going on? What's going on? What's going on? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry. I can't stop singing. Scotty, beam me up yet.
Yeah, they
Was
do
that
want
Jim Beam?
they do want us to fear. Love will build a bridge, right? And that's what they've been doing. I mean,
Oh, Joan.
we we can see the last 20 years they've done everything they could to keep us hating each other, divided. This one does this one, oh my God. And here they're just all hypocrites, and the media allows them to get away with this. That's what really needs
Oh,
to
you
bust
know,
with the media.
yeah, let's touch on that a little bit farther too, because, you know, even the even the media that we began to trust is still telling the truth, putting it out there, and getting the emails so we don't have to, but they're caught up in the same hype.
Hmm. Money, 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 ratings, money. That's why I
Money,
never even talk
ratings.
about. Yeah, I never talk about. I need more subscribers, or I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, especially if you have membership. You know, I don't. That's all I'm saying. And it's
Diane,
not. Yeah.
right? Exactly. Diane G saying, Randy, my main guide just said, sit in silence. Absolutely. Walking in a sacred manner.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The pipe carriers, the Lakota pipe carriers, the followers of White Buffalo Calf Woman. So it is sitting in the silence and walking in a sacred manner. Say less, speak more.
And we're gonna have to hold together. You know, we're gonna get to, because there might come a time. I don't really see it, but where we have to stand up for what we believe in and just stop all working, all progress, all commerce, you know. But seriously, if most of us did that, we'd have our way in less than 24 hours,
Yeah.
because they need you to produce, you know. But people, they fell with the fear.
Yeah.
Yep, media does fester with hate, and fear sells. I will never understand. It just it boggles the mind. I don't get it. Yeah. And see, this is all, to me, that's the first thing that has to change. I do believe it will be once Kamala is in. There's got to be some reining in what is factual news and what isn't, you know.
Coffee girls are on. Okay, golden girls are on.
Oh, good
Sherry's
night.
Sherry. All right. See you
Bye,
on the other
Sherry.
side, baby.
Yeah, let me let you guys go because everybody might want to jump over there. We
Exactly.
love we love that you came and hang out with us just on
Exactly.
for the moment, and we will see you on Monday.
And
I'll
I'll
see you.
have Joan Baez lined up for the next show.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. I'll be live tomorrow with Allie at 9 p.m. Eastern. I think
All
tomorrow's
right. Oh,
Friday.
yeah. Tomorrow's Friday. Another week has gone by.
And it's a holiday weekend. Everybody be safe. Enjoy your weekend.
Peace.
We love you very much. Be safe out there. Thank you for your participation and your interest. Appreciate
Peace out.